Good morning. So, I've noticed recently the last few videos I've tried to make, um, I've shot them, then redone them, then shot them, then redone them, and I think it's just like I haven't actually had a moment or managed out a moment where I could just process my thoughts and feelings. Sorry about all that gulping sound. We're running the filter. And I don't think that I have enough water in here, so I'll probably need to add water soon. But I uploaded a video a few days ago, and if you're interested in the very shortness of what I had to say, I'll post it somewhere for you to connect to. So I feel like I'm living a completely different life today than I was a year ago. And I don't say that lightly, and I don't use that time frame lightly. So in the previous video, I talked about how I was pretty much over the industry that I was in. I think at the very end, I was over the company that I was at, and I was experiencing some major burnout. I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. I just felt like every time I did something, I was hitting a wall, and it felt like everything was impossible. And with that mindset, I was proving myself right, and that was the decision I was making to set myself up for failure from the very start. So, number one, if you're facing burnout, if you're facing confusion, you feel like you need to escape, your fight or flight is always in fight, or, well, either one really. My challenge to you would first be to exercise your mindset, and that does not necessarily mean that you have to stay planted where you are. It really just means like you need to sit down and you need to think about your priorities, the things that you have to take care of, and the things that you want to take care of. And you have to make a decision. And that decision isn't easy. It's not easy to make a decision. Well, it's easy to make a decision. It's not easy to commit, I should say. I think, the neighbor's dog. I think what has helped me in the last year is I personally reached a place where I was done. But I knew I had reached my done point. I think that we all get to a place where we say, I'm done, I'm just done. But we take it and we take a little more and we take a little more, and we just keep like a squirrel just stuffing away all these more acorns. And we finally reach that place where we have nowhere else to stuff those acorns, if you catch my drift, okay? And I think I know that I reached that place. It is possible to reach that place of just like finality, if that's even a word. I made a decision and I committed to it. And that decision was I was open to the idea of leaving my previous job, which for me was the hardest decision to have to make because I cared about all the people that I had the opportunity to work with at my previous job. And I loved the people at my previous job. And it's okay to love and care for the people that you work with, but when the job is like causing you to physically break down, there's only so much you should push yourself within a reasonable amount, because stress is good. Pushing yourself beyond boundaries is good. But when you're in a place where like your kidneys are shutting down, your heart is acting up, you're either losing too much weight or gaining too much weight, I feel like a lot of people, and this is my own personal opinion, and I don't mean it offensively, so please don't take it that way, But I feel like sometimes mental health can be utilized as like a scapegoat, like an excuse by a lot of people when they don't want to do something. It affects their mental health, but there are a lot of people who their job negatively really affects their mental health, and that is important either to address and come to a conclusion of, and like figure out how you're going to manage it, or leave. And there may not only be two options, but I felt like those were the only two options that I had, so they're the only two that I can really speak to. I applied for a job because I really enjoyed the job listing and description, and it was the only job I applied for, and it was a job where I would have to take a step back. But when I read the job description, I was like, man, like this company really cares about the growth of their people. And the crazy thing is, like, this company proves that it cares about the growth of its people. The job description, all of that, like, that wasn't a lie. Like, I get to live it daily, that they meant what they said in training and taking care of their associates is a legitimate thing. I applied for the role, and then I completely forgot I even applied for it because I assumed I'm not even going to get the opportunity to interview because I've never worked in this industry. I have no idea what it takes. I've always been in one kind of industry. And so I just assumed I would never hear anything back. Well, to my surprise, they called. And at first I thought it was a scam call, so I didn't answer. And they left a voicemail, and I don't know why I didn't listen to the voicemail, but this company's HR department called me 3 times. 3 times. And finally, I was like, okay, well, they're leaving I don't know why I did this. I don't know. But anyway, I finally listened to the voicemail, and I was like, no way. No way they're actually calling me to set up an interview. So I called them back immediately. And we set up an interview. And it went great. The person I interviewed with, she is absolutely amazing and a total powerhouse. And then she invited me for a second interview with her direct superior, who is an absolute wonderful individual, very encouraging, wonderful person. And I got to interview a second time with the both of them. And then later I was extended the role, and I was just like, wow. And of course I was scared. Girl, I was scared. First, I'm leaving an industry I've been in my whole life. I know it like the back of my hand. And I'm 37, and I'm switching industries to something I've never done before. Am I going to fail? Am I going to succeed? I could have allowed me to cancel the interview and stay where I was. I could have allowed that to not even apply in the first place. But, like I said, I had reached that place of just being done. I had nowhere else to stuff my more acorns, okay? I was out of hiding places. I couldn't take anymore. So I went. And I accepted, and I started, and I undoubtedly was overwhelmed. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't even know if I'll be able to catch on to this. I don't know if I'm capable of this. Like, did I make the wrong decision? My boss at that time of the new industry I was in was super encouraging. Like I said, total powerhouse, encouraging woman. I am so thankful that I had just a few short months to like work under her, but she's amazing. And she was very encouraging to me, and she was always like, learn, study, develop, grow. And so that's what I did. Well, she got promoted, which is a duh. But then her position became available. And again, I was at that place where I was like, is it too audacious for me to apply? Is it like disrespectful for me to apply? Like, I've only been here for 4 months. 5 months, I think, actually, at that time. Like, do I have any right to apply? Like, surely they would take it as a joke if I applied for this role. It took me about a week, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I was like, well, what happens if I go back to feeling the same way that I felt when I was in my previous industry? Like, what happens if I fail? And we're always going to think those things. Uncertainty is always a hard thing to justify in our minds. But I went for it. I applied. I interviewed. I sat with two of the greatest people in leadership that I've ever had the opportunity to be under. And I interviewed with them. And I was extended the role. Excuse me if I get emotional. But I just think to myself, like, how come I couldn't see in me what all of these people who hardly know me see? Like, I know myself inside and out. I know my skills. I know what I'm capable of. And I don't value myself the same way that the cicadas are losing their mind. Can you be quiet? Thank you. Anyway, like the way that these people saw me after not even really knowing me, I'm just like, how come I don't think that way about myself? So I accepted that role, and I will admit, yes, it was a lot to bite off. It still is a lot to bite off. I'm being invited to do additional things that are within my job scope. It's all necessary, though some of them are options. I want to be the best. Why would I not want to be the best? Why would I not want to provide the very best that I have to give to this new company when in this, like, 7 short months I've been with them, I've already seen how they've taken care of me, how they take care of other teammates, how they conduct business. Like, of course. Yeah, I do. I want to learn how to do those things. I absolutely want to be on that board. So, and the fact that, like, I'm the one being invited to do some of these things just, like, blows my mind. I get to go to a leadership summit later this fall. And at that time, I was invited when I was not yet promoted to the role that I'm in now. And it was my boss's boss who was like, hey, like, she would probably really, like, he thought of me to go to this summit meeting. And I'm just like, who am I? Like, really, like, who am I? So anyway, and don't get me wrong, life is hard, girl. I know it's hard. And life is a challenge. And when life has gone one particular way for so long, it's like obvious why we feel the way that we feel and why we surrender and why we give up and why we just feel like, well, things are always going to be the same. It's never going to change. I'm always going to struggle financially. I'm always going to struggle emotionally. But if I could be any word of encouragement to you, I would say that mindset, that place in your heart and in your mind that you've taught yourself was a defense mechanism is part of, not all of, but part of why you may not be experiencing the things that you have worked really hard to experience. And I say that as somebody who, like, did that. I had to change my mindset. I had to look at myself differently. You can do it too. You absolutely can do it. And if nobody else has told you that you can do it, that's okay. You don't need anybody else to tell you that you could do it. I made a decision to do it because I wanted to, because I wanted more for me. I wanted more for my family. I wanted a certain level of achievement, of success, of working to the fullest of what my potential may be. Like, I wanted that. And I made that decision for me. You can make that decision too. You have to have a conversation with yourself. Are you open to being uncomfortable? Are you open to humility? Are you open to change? And I think that you are. And I believe that you're capable, because girl, if I'm capable, you're capable. And now, since I have come on to this new company, there were a lot of things that I changed before I came on board to this company. But the majority of that change took place when I came to the new company. And I stopped taking things so lightly and started being more intentional, especially when it came to our money. I opened investment accounts. I opened high yield savings accounts. I automated a lot of everything. And then that dog doesn't sound happy. And then, 7 months later, we were able to buy this beautiful home that I am still so excited to show you. I did take video. Okay, so just FYI, my husband has already painted. Okay, whoa, I need to calm down. Anyway, finish the first part of what I was doing. You are capable. You are smart. You don't need anybody else's permission, okay? If you want it, go and get it. I'm ending that segment. I'm going into the house now. So we bought this house, and it is a historical home. She's 166 years old. I filmed a lot of things throughout this journey. So when you start seeing the footage of us moving in and what these rooms look like, that's been over the last 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks is all we've been here, so it hasn't been very long. But I mean, girl, we have a freaking pool and a hot tub, but it's summertime, so we're not using the hot tub yet. Hot tub's gonna be for fall. So, I am going to take video a little bit later today of the inside of the house, but Ted has already painted the living room, and I posted some pictures, but there are more pictures on my Instagram, so if you're interested, you can, I think it's in my About Me, my community page, somewhere, it has my IG handle, so if you want to see more pictures, they're there. And then right now he's spackling and puttying the dining room. We have a dining room. Girl. Oh my God. Anyway, so he's spackling that and he's painting that today, so that'll be completed. And then I have a book nook. I have my own little space, and he's going to be painting that too. And it's going to be this beautiful chocolatey brown color, and it's going to look fabulous in the fall and Christmas. And yeah, so there are videos coming of this new house, our purchase. If you're interested in the financial stuff, it wasn't anything crazy, girl. Don't let people lead you to believe that finances are complicated. They're not. They are not. It is so simple. Discipline, you need discipline, but it's so simple, okay? If anybody tries to make you feel like the finances are complicated, you're not capable, or you don't make enough money to have finances to manage, you just kick them to the curb. Okay? Anyway, we're in a new season. And I am nervous because we own a home. We have a massive pool. We have a hot tub. I have my own space. My husband has his own theater room. The boys have their own bedrooms. We have a kitchen, a dining room, a living room, a sitting room. Our bedroom is gorgeous. I'm thankful, but I have been disciplined and we have work to get here. So just believe and know that you can do the same thing. And if anybody is telling you or implying that you can't, or it's not realistic, or in this market you can't, girl, you can. Write it down, put it on a Post-it in the mirror you look at yourself in the morning, and just know you can. Okay? I love you, I believe in you, and I know that you can do it. Anyway, all right, I will let you go. Go do your thing. I'll go do mine. We'll reconvene, and maybe the next video will be like on what the house looks like currently and maybe some previous. All right, I love you. Have a good day. Bye.